The ancient meeting hall smelled of damp stone and burning herbs. Ivy's fractured body lay on a stone slab at the center, one half flickering in the torchlight, the other half eerily still as if her soul had already left that part behind. Viv's scar glowed silver as she struck the ceremonial gong. The sound reverberated through the chamber like a dying breath. "They're coming," she murmured. Shadows detached from the walls. Figures emerged from the empty air, some hooded, some masked, others with features that shifted too quickly for the eye to follow. The Council of Shrouds hadn't convened in centuries. A woman with moth wings unfolding from her shoulders was the first to speak. "The Veilbreaker dies tonight. That is the only solution." Damian stepped forward, the journal clutched in his ink-stained hands. "There's another way. The third option." "A suicide pact," interrupted a man whose face kept melting and reforming like wax. "Your ancestor wrote those words in despair after murdering his beloved." "It's not a solution. It's a confession." Chloe's blackened fingers gripped the stone slab. "You don't understand." "We understand perfectly," hissed a child-sized figure wrapped in burial linens. "One girl's life against the stability of worlds." Its bandaged hands gestured to Ivy's flickering form. "Look at her. She's already half gone." The torches flared suddenly blue. A new voice spoke, one that came from everywhere at once. "She is mine by right." The Warden stood among them, though no door had opened. Its form pulsed between solid and smoke, the air around it warping like heat haze. The council members recoiled, even Viv took a step back. The Warden extended a hand that was more shadow than flesh. "Give me the Seer as well, and I will spare the veil." Silence. Then, Ivy's eyes flew open. Both sets. Her physical body arched off the slab while her spectral half rose from it like a ghost. Two voices spoke in unison, one hoarse with pain, the other echoing unnaturally. "Never." The grove was silent in a way that made Damian's ears ache. Ancient trees formed a perfect circle, their bark blackened as if burned from the inside out. This was where the guardian spirits dwelled, the oldest keepers of the veil, older than Lysel, older than the Warden itself. Damian's boots sank into ash as he stepped forward. The air tasted of charred metal and regret. Asterisk, "You come with blood on your hands, descendant of traitors." Asterisk. The voice came from everywhere and nowhere. Damian spun, but saw only the skeletal branches clawing at the twilight sky. "I come for answers," he said, his breath fogging in the unnatural cold. "The third option." Asterisk is a child's scribble compared to the laws of balance. Asterisk, a figure emerged from the largest tree, not stepping out, but unfolding from the bark itself. Its face was smooth wood, its eyes hollow pits that leaked smoke. Asterisk, "Your ancestor understood. When duty calls, love must burn." Asterisk. Damian's fingers found the journal in his pocket. The burned edges crumbled at his touch. "There has to be another way." The guardian's head tilted with a sound like creaking gallows. Asterisk, "There is always another way. But you will not like its price." Asterisk, it extended a branch-like hand. Asterisk, "Give us the Veilbreaker. Let her fire cleanse the tears in the veil. Only then will the Warden cease its hunt." Asterisk. A vision flooded Damian's mind, Ivy standing in a circle of white flames, her body turning to light, to smoke, to nothing. The veil knitting itself shut behind her. The world sighing in relief. Chloe's voice echoed suddenly in his memory. Asterisk, "Sometimes the most powerful magic isn't in books. It's in choices." Asterisk. Damian closed his eyes. "No." The grove shuddered. The guardian's smoke eyes flared. Asterisk, "You would damn worlds for one girl?" Asterisk. "I would damn myself before I damn her." Damian stepped back, the ash rising in ghostly swirls around his ankles. "Tell your Warden this: if it wants Ivy, it will have to go through me." The guardian's laugh was the sound of forest fires. Asterisk, "Oh, it will, child. It will." Asterisk. The trees began to bleed black sap. Damian ran. Behind him, the grove collapsed in on itself, taking the guardian's final words with it. Asterisk, "The burned path always leads home, and your feet are already aflame." Asterisk. The mansion's grandfather clock struck midnight once, twice, then the glass face shattered. Ivy felt it before she saw it. The air thickened like clotting blood. The wallpaper behind her peeled away in curling strips, revealing not plaster, but a yawning void where shadows slithered like eels. The Warden was coming. Not in dreams. Not through whispers. It was here. Chloe grabbed Ivy's flickering wrist. "It's using the tears you made to cross over," she hissed, her blackened veins pulsing. "It's turning your own power against you." A door down the hall exploded inward. The Warden stepped through taller than the doorframe, its form a living bruise of purpled shadows and jagged light. Where it walked, the floorboards warped, sprouting thorns. Where it breathed, the air turned to frost. It spoke with a voice like a grave cracking open. Asterisk, you have run long enough. Asterisk. Damian lunged in front of Ivy, the journal's pages fluttering in his grip. Get back. The Warden's head tilted. Asterisk, the one who chooses love over duty. Asterisk, it raised a hand and Damian screamed as his left arm twisted violently, bones snapping like dry twigs. Asterisk, let us see how strong that love is when it breaks. Asterisk. Ivy's vision went white with rage. She threw her hands out not to flee, but to call. The air rippled as spirits poured through the walls, dozens of them, hundreds, the forgotten souls she'd met in shadows and dreams. They swarmed the Warden like moths to a flame, clinging to its monstrous form. Now Chloe. Ivy shouted. Chloe's eyes rolled back, her seer sight blazing. She saw the Warden's truth, its core, its name, and she spat it out like poison. Asterisk, you're just a scared little ghost who got left behind. Asterisk. The Warden staggered. For one impossible second, the mansion held its breath. Then, the chandelier crashed down. The spirits shrieked. The Warden howled, its form unraveling at the edges as it reached for Ivy. Just as Damian slammed a silver dagger, where had he gotten that? Into its chest. The world split. When the dust settled, the Warden was gone. But so was half the east wing. And outside the shattered windows, the sky was wrong. Patches of night swirled like oil in water. Stars blinked out, one by one. The veil wasn't just torn now. It was bleeding. The relic burned in Damian's hands, a twisted circlet of silver and bone, humming with the same unnatural energy as the Warden itself. It had cost him dearly. The blood dripping from his broken arms soaked into the metal, sizzling like water on hot iron. Across the ruined ballroom, Ivy's two halves flickered in and out of sync. Her physical form knelt on the cracked marble, gasping. Her spectral half floated several feet above, tethered only by a thin, glowing cord that grew thinner by the second. Chloe gripped Damian's shoulder, her sear-blackened fingers leaving smudges of shadow on his shirt. If you do this wrong, it'll rip her apart permanently. Damian's jaw tightened. Then I won't do it wrong. He slammed the circlet onto the ground. The mansion screamed. Silver light erupted in a swirling vortex, yanking Ivy's spectral half downward like a fishhook. Her physical body arched backward, mouth open in a soundless cry as the two halves of her soul collided. For one terrible moment, nothing happened. Then, a shockwave of raw power blasted outward, shattering every remaining window. Ivy writhed, her form flickering wildly human, spirit, something else before suddenly solidifying. When she opened her eyes, they burned with twin silver flames. The air around her bent. Chloe stumbled back. Ivy? Ivy flexed her hands, watching as the very light around her fingers warped. I remember, she whispered. Then louder, asterisk, I remember everything. Asterisk. The Warden's voice echoed through the broken mansion. Asterisk, no. Asterisk. Ivy turned toward the sound and smiled. The between place smelled of lightning and old books. Ivy stood on a bridge of fractured light, the void yawning beneath her feet. Before her, the Warden loomed no longer a faceless horror, but something worse, a mirror. Its form shifted to match hers, feature for feature, flame for flame. Asterisk, you think this is sacrifice? Asterisk, it mocked, its voice now eerily human. Asterisk, you were never meant to die, little thief. You were meant to asterisk replace asterisk me. Asterisk. The truth hit like a knife between the ribs. Chloe's vision flashed in Ivy's mind, the Warden's origin. Not a monster, but a failed Veilbreaker from centuries past. One who chose duty over love. One who got trapped. The Warden extended a hand that was suddenly, terribly familiar. Damian's ancestor's hand. Asterisk the veil demands a keeper. Take my place, and the trapped souls go free. Refuse. Asterisk it gestured downward, where the void swallowed entire city blocks whole. Asterisk, and your world unravels. Asterisk. Ivy's silver flames guttered. Then, a gunshot cracked the silence. The warden jerked backward as a silver bullet tore through its chest. Ivy whirled to see Damian at the bridge's edge, his broken arm cradling a revolver, his ancestor's journal clutched in his bloodied hand. Turns out, he gasped, the final binding wasn't for you. The journal burst into blue fire. And as the warden screamed, Ivy saw her chance not to replace it, but to reshape it. She reached into its crumbling form and pulled, not to destroy, but to